So Happy Christmas, brackets, war is over. Why did you choose to record this track?
Love John Lennon, love John Lennon tracks, love the Beatles, and there is just something about, again, I was talking about beautifully crafted songs, and this is one of them, in my view. I remember listening to this particular piece of music, this particular song, over and over and over again, just getting inside. It's quite cyclical in a way. The interval vectors, if you like, are not very wide. So the melody, on the face of it, there isn't a lot to it, but it just is one of those pieces, one of those songs that couldn't have been written any other way. When the choir comes in, you know, what I love about the choir, the children's choir that sing on this song, is the imperfection in their voices. It's so perfect. You couldn't record that any better if you tried. Beautiful, innocent, seemingly untrained voices, but coming together in such magisterial harmony on that particular song. It's so beautiful, so moving, so touching. It's just such a beautiful piece. So really, how do you approach something that is so completely perfect? And what I try to do is take away something of the essence of it, rather than just to do it all again, because I wouldn't have been able to do it justice. So I just wanted to take away something of the stillness of that particular song. So I was just trying to really step inside that moment of stillness and take something from the essence of it. And again, to be able to do that in such a magical space in Abbey Road, and to try and be worthy of the stillness around me and the silence, and to weave it into some of those moments as if I were duetting in a way with the silence, because it's not a fast-moving song in the way that I play it on the EP. And so I'm duetting in a way with that stillness, with that moment, and trying to capture something of that magic.
Nice. How was it arranging this Christmas classic?
Well, I suppose the process of arrangement was listening to it a lot, and just trying to get inside the various colours, tones, harmonies, and instrumentations that were going on in the actual song. And again, as an improvised EP, it was about playing that, recreating it once, and then doing it again another time in a completely different way. And just, I think that's one of the most enjoyable things about doing EPs or albums in that way, is you're able to react in the moment and shape the music according to the needs of the moment. The hall itself, the melody, does it need to stay on track? Does it need to go down a different route at any particular time? So there's that kind of aleatoric sense that, you know, anything can happen at any one time. And so yes, there would have been a number of recordings there of that particular track, each with a different quality. And it was really about listening to those. I remember it very well, actually. I remember that day, because I think we recorded it in one day, the tracks on that album, very long day. And I was with my very talented, trusted mix engineer, Andrew Dudman, in Studio 2. So retreating up to the control room and listening to the different qualities and just seeing if I managed to capture just even a tenth or a small fraction of the magic of that record. And I could hear something in this one particular version, so that's why we went for it.
Nice. In the beginning, so I was listening to the John Lennon's version and your version, and they kind of launch into it, but what you did was kind of come in very softly, and it sounded to me like Little Drummer Boy. Was that by accident, or was that?
I think it might have been by accident, but certainly the rhythmic impetus wasn't by accident. The sense of wanting to establish something very definite, because there is, with those kind of extemporization, one wants to just put down some foundations, I think. Otherwise, it might have been a little bit too meandering. And so, yes, that sense of impetus, the piano as a snare, if you like, wasn't necessarily something that was done on purpose, but I was very, very conscious of wanting to do something that was definite. So perhaps I was in that Little Drummer Boy moment. Who knows?
Nice. And any other thoughts or reflections on recording the piece?
Probably the most difficult track to do on the album because it wasn't immediately apparent how that track should be reimagined. With something so perfect, it's always difficult to reimagine it. But for me, that was the way, was to capture something of the essence. And in those moments of rhythmic impetus, in the moments of where the melody dies away, where I'm trying to emulate the children's voices, where I'm trying to introduce those moments of imperfection as well. I don't mean wrong notes, but I just mean, maybe moments which aren't, so you haven't harmonized to the nth degree. They're left a little bit more sparing, just so it has moments of intense vulnerability. And for me, that when I listen to that track, that's what I hear. I hear fragility, innocence, vulnerability, but above all, at the risk of sounding sickly sweet, it's just a track swathed in love for me. And so hopefully there's something of that warmth on the track on the EP.